Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on a reformulated foundation. Can you guys guess? I went to Sephora and picked up the new Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is reformulated. They have already launched this before, but now they have a new and improved version of this, and we are going to get right into this because I'm ready. I woke up bright and early and I said, you know what, today I am going to film a review and wear test on this. So if you want to continue watching and see how this performs on the face and how it does for the entire day, and if it's worth your money, then please go ahead and keep watching. This is supposed to be a hydrating foundation that delivers buildable coverage for the face, body, resists heat and humidity, and leaves a luminous makeup look. It's a medium coverage, a natural finish, and a liquid formula. This is free of parabens. It contains less than 1% synthetic fragrance, and it's supposed to give you that flawless, no makeup look. This one does retail for $43, and I did pick this up in the shade 3.5N. So now we're gonna go ahead and just put this on. I already did my skincare routine. I also went ahead and applied my sunscreen. Let's go ahead and use this. I am going to go ahead and shake this well because it does say shake well. Liquidy consistency for sure. I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. This is what it looks like. Like I said, it is a liquidy formula. It feels very hydrating, as you guys can see. And I picked this up in the shade 3.5N. They did have a shade 3N, but I feel like that shade was a little light. I feel like I could work with it for like the fall and winter, like mainly the winter, but I think this shade, especially with summer here and me picking up some color, I think this 3.5 shade will be a lot better. So as always, I'm gonna do one side with a sponge and then on the other side with a brush. So I'm just taking my Morphe Ariel brush, and I'm going to begin applying this all over. Oh, this is pretty. It's actually not as luminous as I thought it would be. Looks really nice on the skin. I do want to talk a little bit about my skin type as I'm applying this. So I do have combination skin. I have a very oily T-zone, and then I have a little bit of dryness on the cheeks. I've always had very oily skin, but as I'm getting older, now that I'm in my late 20s, I've noticed that I am getting more so of that just very oily T-zone and then dry cheeks from my rosacea. I do have rosacea, which is the redness on my cheeks and also texture. I also have rosacea on the nose, and therefore I do have sensitive skin because with rosacea, my skin is very sensitive. It looks very beautiful, I have to say. And I really appreciate the fact that like, I still feel like my skin looks like skin. Let me see, this doesn't contain, no. So this doesn't contain sunscreen or anything like that. It just says a second skin effect, a natural finish, water and heat resistant, buildable coverage. I'm definitely seeing that. I feel like it gives you like a healthy glow from within finish. Obviously, if you are somebody that does have my type of skin or maybe combination skin or oily skin, you can go ahead and set this. But for the most part, I really love the fact that with this, I just feel like it truly does look like my skin. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit more right on my nose and right here. I also love how lightweight this foundation feels. It doesn't feel heavy. I feel like now that it's really close to my nose, I can smell a little tiny bit of scent in there, but not as heavy as I can remember from before. I really appreciate how breathable this feels. And I have to say, I am really glad that brands are reformulating some of their iconic foundations. I will say some of them it's like for the best, and some of them is like, you could have done better. The original was better. And I get that like, don't mess with something that's good, but I feel like a lot of brands are really trying to make very good quality products in terms of ingredients. So I get why they would want to improve things, and I appreciate that because makeup is evolving as the years progress. So I'm glad that brands are going in and like really trying to figure out what's the best for their customers. So I'm gonna take a little bit of what I had left over on the back of my hand, and I just kind of built it up. But I have to say, I really do like this color. I feel like this color suits me very well. And I like the fact that there's like that in-between shade. Like it doesn't just go from 3N to like the next shade, like 4. I love when brands do have those in-between shades because I feel like sometimes your complexion may not be too neutral, but it may not be too like warm. So you kind of want that like right in the middle color. And I feel like this definitely gives me that. But I have to say I'm very impressed with how just skin-like natural this looks and feels. So this is with the foundation, and then this is without the foundation. Even though this is a medium coverage, I still feel like you do get a really beautiful finish, a beautiful result. You don't have to build it up too much to get that, you know, coverage that you want. And I do want to go ahead and touch this. I will say though, it is a little sticky. That's the only thing. I'm not a big fan of like the stickiness in foundations, and it does feel a little bit sticky there. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and let this side just kind of sink into the skin and do its thing, set, and then we're gonna go ahead and apply the Dior Face and Body Foundation with a brush. Okay, so we're gonna pump some product out, and I'm going to just right there, here. And I'm just gonna be taking this brush right here. This has been my go-to brush lately. This is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Complexion Perfection Brush, number 7. It's really good. Immediately just blends out very seamlessly. Nothing makes me happier than like a really good seamless blend, and this is definitely giving us seamless blend. Something else I'm keeping in mind is if this product is going to oxidize. Obviously we already went in with this side, and this is the side that we just applied. I'm not really seeing it oxidize. What do you guys think? Does it look like it's oxidizing? I also really appreciate how easily it blends out with my forehead. Like, look at that. Blends so effortlessly. Honestly, I really like how this looks. I love the color. I love how skin-like it looks. And to be honest, guys, lately I've been really into like this more like healthy skin hydrated look. I haven't been into like a matte foundation. And the reason being is because I feel like the older I'm getting, the more I just kind of want the foundation to look like skin and not necessarily like I'm wearing like a full face of makeup. And another thing is, as somebody that has oily skin, I feel like I'd rather have a hydrating foundation and then going with my powders to like really set it and give it that effortless, like flawless look, than have a matte foundation and then try to go in instead with powders and it just looks super cakey. So right now, like first impressions, I really like how this looks. I really like the color. I'm not feeling any irritation on my skin. I do have sensitive skin, like I mentioned earlier, because there is a little bit of scent in here. I'm not gonna say there isn't any scent at all. There is a little bit of scent there, but I'm not feeling my skin feel irritated. Like both sides, I don't see a huge difference between using a brush or a sponge. So it just really depends on what you prefer using. I think either or will be great. I also do feel like this gives you more so of like medium buildable coverage, because I do see it being built up to a more full coverage finish while still looking healthy. So that's pretty much first impressions, a demo of how this applies on the skin. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back, give you guys my first initial thoughts on how it works with everything else, and then we can begin this wear test, because that's what's gonna really tell us if this is worth our, how much was it? 43 or 42? $43 or not. So I'm gonna go ahead, polish up, and keep watching. Hey bonitas, so I'm back. I finished off the entire face of makeup. I kept it really light, simple, very fresh faced, which you guys know I've been loving lately, especially in the summertime. I feel like it's perfect time to just keep it light and fresh face. But this is where we're at. I really love how everything turned out. For concealer, I did actually use the Dior concealer. I have it right here. I don't use it too often. I don't know why I don't use it too often. I need to start using it more often, but I was like, why not pair both of these products together? Worked really lovely, and honestly this product worked really great with my entire complexion products. I used the Fenty Beauty matchstick to warm up my face. I used the Dior concealer. For blush, I used the new Fenty Beauty Color Adaptive Summertime Collection blush. Been obsessed with that. That's also what I have on my lips, and then I just put like a clear gloss over it just for that extra glossy effect, and I am obsessed. I'm very pleased with how everything worked with this Dior foundation. I do quickly want to say that I did set the face with a little bit of powder just on my T-zone where I get oily. I just used my Milani translucent powder, the blur powder, because it's a translucent loose powder, just very light finish to just combat any oils that I may have, and I feel like it definitely did help. I don't feel like the face got too oily after it set, which I do appreciate, but just as somebody that has a very oily T-zone, I always like to go with a little bit of powder just to kind of like set things in place. Now we can go ahead and wear this for the entire day and see how that does. Right now it is 1:19 p.m. and it is 78 degrees out on a Saturday, so we shall see how this wears for the entire day. I have plans to wear this up until the nighttime. So definitely gonna give you guys some good wear out of this product. And then we can go ahead and determine what our thoughts are on this, because I really want to see how this works for the entire day. Of course, Dior Beauty is a luxury brand, so we're gonna see how this does, because $43 is not cheap. So keep watching. I will also do an in natural lighting clip so you guys can see how this looks with the natural light. And then of course, at the end of the day, my final thoughts. So I'll see you guys later. Hey, bonitas. So here is the foundation in natural lighting. I feel like it looks really beautiful and skin-like in natural light. It looks like a perfect, like no makeup type of foundation finish. Just very skin-like. This isn't gonna be like a matte finish or anything like that. I feel like it just gives me really healthy skin vibes. It does have a little bit of some like fresh face radiance, which I personally appreciate, especially right now during the summer. Obviously, I don't want it to get too oily because then I'll be like, I don't know if that's worth that much money. But I really just like the healthy finish it gives me, and I feel like it matches my complexion perfectly. So if you are around my shade, I definitely would recommend this color because I feel like the color is perfection. I'm really excited to see how this is going to wear for the rest of the day. So I will check back in with you guys tonight. Okay, bonitas, I am back right now. It is 12:19. So let's talk about the Dior Face and Body Foundation. So this is what we're looking like, and I have to say, definitely do have some dewiness, but it's not very intense, which I do appreciate. I feel like by the end of the day, it does look very skin-like. I feel like it kind of becomes one with the skin. I also do feel like in some areas, like around the nose, I feel like it's separating a little bit, and some of the product did come off. I will say, I went for a very long walk today during the day, and it was hot and humid. So I feel like I can understand why some of the product came off, because I wasn't just like inside. I feel like if you have very oily skin, you probably will not like this, but I feel like if you have dry to normal skin, I think you'll really enjoy this. I feel like for me personally, it wasn't too bad, but I definitely do feel like I'll need to use a mattifying primer with this if I am going to be outside, because like I said, I was outside, and I definitely do see my dewiness peeking through a little bit more, but I will say the face looks very like natural and skin-like. So let me know your thoughts. If you've tried this, what are you thinking? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I will try this again for sure, because this wasn't cheap and I spent $43 on it. So probably try this in like a trying new makeup video and kind of give you guys like second updates on it. Those are pretty much all my thoughts. I hope that this video is super helpful for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these type of videos for you guys. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I will see you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Adios, bonitas.